Warning. Incoming. Game over.
I am a little bit pissed with this stupid team.
Warning. Incoming. Game over. Warning. Incoming. Game over.
Hello, folks. Um, how are we doing? That is a loaded question. Well, let me first start with I'm so sorry for my tardiness. Just had some technical difficulties, but I am here. I showed up, and I'm not sure that the Habs can say the same. Uh, that's a lie. Let's get into this game. Um, First of all, I have an exciting third segment planned. I want to talk a little bit, just like a fun little what the New Year's resolutions can be for this team in general, and also maybe some specific players. Um, I'm gonna do a few jokey ones because I am a completely unserious person, but I'm also going to do one or two more serious ones. You guys are welcome to put yours in the in the chat, or maybe save them until I'm closer to there, because the chat is not always the easiest to scroll back to when I'm alone here. Um, but yeah, so let's get into the game. Or, well, first of all, let me say hi to everybody. I really appreciate everybody who's here. It's not necessarily the kind of game that we'd love to be here for, but we're here. I see so many people that I see all the time in the chat, and some new folks. You know, we got Bernardo over there. We've got a Game Over Montreal. That's us. Got Trinka, Claire, Trizak. We've got everybody. I'm sorry if I don't call you out by name. Um, so thank you so much for showing up. I'm gonna need you guys here today because I am alone by myself. And it doesn't get any easier to do it by yourself, I'll tell you. I don't know how Mark and Andrew do it pretty regularly, so Before we get started, I'm sure you've noticed that we have these wonderful new boards. I'm pointing at my screen like you guys can see where I'm pointing. I'm pointing at the bottom. I'm sure you guys can see that we have some wonderful new sponsors. We're very, very happy to have them. Um, Let me start with Le Saint Motel. Also, first of all, I'm so sorry for my pronunciation. Once the holidays are up and everybody's got a little bit more time, I do want to sit down with like maybe Mark and make sure I'm getting my pronunciations right. So, yeah. So, Le Saint Motel, looking for a way to make your awesome memories with your friends? Want to take some promotional pictures for your business? Check out Le Saint Motel in Montreal Southwest. It's an amazing selfie studio located in Montreal's historic Chateau Saint. Why did I try that? Adjacent to the Inchi Bichu, which is also our other sponsor. They have 12 plus decors and they can help you just make some wonderful memories. As my current setup can kind of show you, some of the hardest part about taking pictures and maybe like be on camera is trying to figure out a background. And it's such a fun little like experience to have. Also, Silicon Motel also does a mobile decor setups. They are available for rent for events, and they do set up and take down. You can head to lesaintmotel.com for more details or check out their amazing decor. That information will soon be in our description box. It's not there quite yet, but it will be there soon. Um, and while I'm here, might as well give you my Inchu Biju? Inchu Biju ad read. I'm so sorry. So we're so excited to tell you about our new sponsor here at Game Over Montreal, delightfully witchy goth and glam jewelry store, making handcrafted art that varies from subtle silver and gold pieces to glamorously bespoke pieces. They're more than just a company. They've built a community in through their advocacy and welcoming attitude. Um, and they run seasonal themed markets, where local artisans can come together to showcase and sell their wares. Um, you can learn more at inchubichu.com. Um, and yeah, just stop on by. I can't wait to be able to stop there. I'm really excited. I love Montreal. I can't wait until I can head back. I am honestly considering literally just being very irresponsible and taking my savings and heading to Montreal for a little bit. It's a great city, and I think I could use the um, TLC, I guess. Although last time I was in Montreal, it wasn't exactly relaxing, but I had fun. Um, so yeah, about this game. First of all, let's just talk about the thing that I think is on everybody's mind. The Patrik Laine disappearance, I guess. Um, I I was a little I mean, my first kind of um reaction to that injury obviously was, "Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no." Um, but I think after honestly, we had a lot of time to sit with it because it was 2 periods worth of Laine not being there. Um, but when they put out the statement saying it's an upper body injury, but they're not sure, like, I don't remember exactly what the wording was. Um, doubtful or something like that. I don't know. It wasn't like a whole, like, no. So that was a relief because I don't know. I figure if this might be one of those situations where we just um kind of held him out once he had a little bit of kind of something happen there, because first of all, like CBJ are not exactly a top tier team. I know we lost versus them, so I have to give them their flowers for that. They won that one. But um if maybe, it was a more of a they can afford to skip that. Um so dear God. Yeah. So I think one of the things is probably like maybe they were keeping him out because of that. In that like he felt a little something. They were like, let's not force this issue. But second of all, as everybody in the chat is kind of saying, they were like the CBJ players were the Blue Jackets players. we're gunning for him tonight, as Bernardo says, um, which I think is to be expected, to be honest. I think he had some comments that he gave earlier today, um, that I can be like big enough to say that if I was a Blue Jackets fan, I'd be pissed. I'd be really pissed at him for those. Um, I can't remember exactly what, like, the gist of it essentially that he was saying that I wanted out because I felt like they didn't want to win. He felt like, he wanted to be in a team that was winning. Um, I guess he felt like he wouldn't even clarify it was the players or management that he felt like wasn't trying to kind of move in that direction. So, obviously, I support uh, everybody's rights to talk shit, to be a hater. His experience in Columbus clearly wasn't the best. Um, so I get it. But I also get it from their point of view. From the fans, I'd be pissed if I was a fan, but I'm not. Luckily enough, I'm not a Columbus Blue Jacket fan. Um, and I'm not a player there. I'm sure the players have a lot of pride and they're kind of like, dude, why'd you say that? Um, so I totally get why they were going after him. They were really finishing some checks. Also, I'll address what MFM said, but thank you so much. I really appreciate any updates you guys give me according to the pressers from the guys. Um, yeah, so my point being, they were clearly targeting him a little bit, and if they decided to kind of hold him back because of that, I don't necessarily mind that. I think, I'm gonna, for now, pretend that. Maybe it's a little delulu of me, but I'll do it. I need something to hold on to, guys. I can't. And it's been such a nice stretch for the Habs. We've been having such a good time. It's no like there's no use in just making there's no use in my mind speculating unless we have more direction. And again, it's the whole he's not ruled out thing that like made me most hopeful. If I go down that, like, route of trying to understand and trying to speculate, I'll go insane. So for now, I'm going to fully, commit to the route of, um, he's it's mostly precautionary, which honestly don't if that is the case, I don't mind. I know some people are, like, being, like, real assholes about it. I think some people are being real assholes about everything. But one of the things that they were being assholes about is they're saying, oh, he didn't come back because he was scared or he didn't want to, which first of all, I'm sure that's not how being a professional athlete works, guys. But also it's gotta be like, um, Jesus, where was I going? My point being, I don't think he was like purposely faking anything, but do I think that trainers and personnel sometimes make decisions based on like the consequences or like the context? Yeah, as anybody does, as anybody should. If you're smart, that's how you should do it. Um, so, kind of, MFM is saying Marty said in the interview that he didn't know the seriousness and he hasn't spoken with the medical personnel. And Trinka suggests Marty never learns the medical stuff on purpose, so he doesn't have to lie to reporters. Now that is actually a conspiracy theory, or I don't even know if it's a conspiracy theory. That's one I believe. It's 110% one I believe. I believe coaches like first of all, it's probably a longer conversation than they can afford to have before like press gets to them. But also I believe that they really don't like getting into it. Um unless like it's absolutely obvious. Um, so yeah, that's kind of I think that like I think there's a little bit of not lying, but some like timing working out in a weird way. um, oh, Bernardo, no, I haven't seen the rehab tweets, and I don't. Oof, I can't wait to get online and get really mad after this. Instead of doing something reasonable like going to bed or eating. Which okay, while I'm here and I'm alone and nobody can stop me, let me just tell you guys up. I have terrible sleeping habits, right? Like I don't sleep very well. Um apparently over at Game Over between me and Mark, we are really bad about sleeping. Or Game Over Montreal anyways. So I I like I would very often like not sleep anyways, but when I'm doing Game Over, I get so like hyped up and so like full of adrenaline that it's really hard for me to fall asleep afterwards. Um, so I mean, if you guys follow my Blue Sky, you've seen me tweet at like or post at like ridiculous times because I am in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. Um, so yeah, my kind of, you know, 15 minutes later, my conclusion to the Patty thing is I'm not too worried. I won't be too worried. I don't think they're practicing, right? Like there's no way they would practice. They're off after tonight. Um so I guess the only time we'll really know is when they come back for practicing. Um so I'm going to choose not to worry about it. I'm going to believe that. Um hmm, let's say let's see. Oh, Gary's talking a little bit about Matheson, and I have Matheson feelings also. And they mostly come down to, man, is he a roller coaster? Um, I don't think like he's like that bad. Um, but I think he's very important to the team. But sometimes he makes these plays, and I'm like, dude, you're driving me insane. You're driving me crazy. It's not like it's really the Matheson give it, Matheson take it away. Um, he'll like make this like sick play. He'll do something really cool or like something really fundamental, really good. He'll show off his skating and it will lead to something really good for the team. And then he'll immediately do something that is so infuriating. He'll shoot the puck somewhere that it does not need to go. He will make a pass that is not going to connect with anybody. He's going to make a play that like none of his teammates are around to support him in and feels like he should know better, but he doesn't. Like it's just so frustrating. I feel like today was a really up and down game for him, leaning on down. I'd say more down than up. Um so yeah, I'm going to read back the chat a little bit really quickly. Um, hmm. Yeah, Trinka says big last day before vacation vibes. I agree. Man, they did not look like. I don't think either team looked good. Like, first of all, neither of these teams are very good, so they weren't going to look good in the first place. But I don't think either of them were making like complete plays. There were so many. I'd say like in the third period, there was a little bit more like actual play happening, but up until like the first 40 at least, there was nothing. Like it was just genuinely like me getting so frustrated because it felt like nobody was really trying or I don't know. I don't know. Sorry. Um so I guess I guess let's talk a little bit about what did I have in mind here? Oh yeah, Kirby Doc. Really good game. Or like making a lot of progress, doing a lot more. And all everybody's gonna remember is that one shot or like that one sequence at the front of the net where he just could not get it in. Um, and I think that's all he's gonna remember too. So that's really unfortunate. Um, um, yeah, oh, MFM. Yes. Yeah, Kirby's play was good. Um, I would say it was like I feel like he could have elevated the the puck, which is what they play with. Um I think he could have It wasn't a great positioning. It wasn't great positioning that he was in, so that makes sense. And the goalie really was giving it his all. So you win some, you lose some. I think that was a hard one for him personally. Um, it feels really, really snake bitten behavior. I'm also really happy for Jordan Harris scoring his first goal. Um, I really like the guy. Like I really like the guy. I didn't like the kind of the I didn't really like the trade. I'm gonna be completely honest. Just in terms of not even like I thought it was a great trade in theory in terms of like one of our extra left-handed defensemen being sent over for line A and like a pick, and it made a lot of sense to me. 'Cause obviously, like line, it's still a deal we quote unquote won, but I think we could have possibly chosen another defenseman to send over. But it is what it is. Um, So yeah, I'm happy for Harris. Of course, it was going to be against us, of course. Um, but clearly, David Savard also got his former team goal, so good for him too, I guess. Outrage us! How we not mentioned Lane's goal? That was good, eh? Um, that was just a nice little play. Um, Thank God I will ignore that one. I will ignore that one. Yeah, the lame goal. It was just first of all, it's really funny to me that Marty was like, "Oh, I don't have Line A on the power play. What's my other Finnish shooter?" And he's like, "Oh, it's Armia. Let's put Armia out there." But it worked. Listen, it worked. At the end of the day, they don't ask how, they ask how many. Um, and I'm sure Lane doesn't really mind how he got his second goal, which is kind of insane. He's so far up the scoring race for like defensemen without like with two goals. Um so like he's pretty sick. Bernardo tells me that there's Kiel Savar 3 points in the last 2 games, including a goal tonight. Return of the King. Correct. Who Want Me. Truly, just Return of the King featuring Who Want Me. And I'd like to know. Did Nick end up getting a point tonight, guys? I didn't notice because like usually against the Blue Jackets, it seems like the broadcast was saying that he does well generally against the Blue Jackets, so I'm not sure. Just checking that out. Um, no, oh yes, he got one with the David Savard goal actually. Um, Caulfield got 2 assists. Didn't even pick up on that. Um, I was hoping that he'd get a goal today, just with like the absence of Line A. It would have been nice to see him get his goal. Not that I don't think he stepped up. I genuinely think he like got a lot of good opportunities. It didn't feel like their night. Um, man, I today I started and I was like, or before the game started, I was like, I know I'm streaming tonight. I do not want to talk about Jake Evans. Which is a new like mindset for me because all I want to do is talk about Jake Evans. Because he's sick. He's been so sick. But every single time I talk about him these days, I get like sad because I know that like every single time he does something really good, um, he's just pricing himself out of Montreal. And I'm man, I that's one of the reasons why I was like, I don't want to talk about this because if I talk about it, I'm gonna start talking about like you guys in the chat are gonna be like, "Oh, it's like he should be treated and we shouldn't give him blah blah blah." Have you considered my feelings? Do you guys even think about how I feel? Do you care how Nick Suzuki feels? Frankly, like Cole is his friend, sure, but like Jake and him are buds. So, first of all, um, the only point I will take off Jake Evans' kind of positive side is once a friend got me a cameo from him actually for ahead of my birthday um and is he was really nice. He was really sweet. He did great stuff. But his front camera was he used to he filmed with his front camera and it was so dirty. It was so dirty. It was like the smudgiest things. Like, like it was no, I've even like I'm trying to smudge my own webcam just to show you guys, but no, that's not. Is that clean? Yes, it's clean as it's gonna get. Um, it was rough. It added to the charm, I'll tell you. I mean, it had to. He did. He was like, "Oh, I heard you like Nick Suzuki. Me too. He's my bud." And I was like, "That's so true." Um, Also, hi Conrad, our lovely Game Over host, who says happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too. Also, happy holidays to everybody in the chat. I don't really celebrate much, um, like around all around the year I do, but like around this time. Um, so to me, I sometimes forget. But yeah, happy holidays. Um, Oh yes, Claire. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like the stream. I would really appreciate that. I am lonely. I am so lonely. I am alone all by myself. Um, so please do like it. I'd really appreciate that. Um, you know what? While I'm here, I am just going to move us over to period two. Because why not? Let's get a little wild. Oh, that is period three. Let's try that again. Um, oh geez, guys, we're working so hard. We're working so hard. This is just gonna have to be the way it is, guys. Um, so yeah, okay. I'm gonna have a, I'm gonna have the Jake Evans talk, because of course I will. If I'm alone to my own devices, two players are gonna come up. Jake Evans, Caden Gooley, who I thought was like, just as a side note. I think he was really active in the ozone today. Um, I feel like Carrier was like, I don't know if it was that he felt comfortable um stepping up, um stepping up, or that he yes. So with Caden Gooley, I don't know if the Carrier first of all, it's just a good move in general. I think it allows him to play on his natural side, which is good, as it should be. Um But I wonder if it's just like he felt more comfortable jumping up because he felt like he could trust his partner to cover defensively, or but that's the thing, I saw Carrier up there with him too. So like both of them jumped out, which is not what was expected from Carrier, but um I'm not sure if anybody read who was it? Arpan Bassi's piece, but I don't want to give away too much. But one of the things that Carrier said is that he was reminded, he was asked about like one of his older defense partners, and like he kind of changed it from like the person they asked about to another one. It's like he reminds me a little bit of young Ekholm. So I don't, that is it's a thing. Um anyways, Jake Evans, let's have that conversation. So let me trace this back. Outrage says they have to re-sign him. I swear to God, me. Also, I see Trinka in here saying that he's gonna start trading people away. I can't promise, or I can't confirm or deny this one. Bernardo adds the fact that Habs are now 7-1-0 with when Evan scores. Yeah, it's so over. Yes, so Andrew says that the only way they pull that off, which signing Evans, is if they move Debo at the deadline. If development tracks continue with Mishar Beck at all, Ray suggests just buy out Debo. And Andrew also adds that he thinks that Devo has played his way through the 30 games into a tradable contract near the deadline / off season. And he's playing engaged hockey. Trinka adds that he's winning faceoffs again. which is good because Nick Suzuki had a really bad night for faceoffs. I don't know what his faceoffs have been like in the season. Um, if anybody kind of knows that information, please let me know. I cannot trust myself to multitask right now, so I won't look those up. Um, I think that, and I had this conversation with, or like a brief exchange with Jared Book from Eyes on the Prize, on Blue Sky, and he said something about like we talked a little bit about how there's a reason why championship teams are going to be looking at Jake Evans this deadline. That's just the kind of player that coaches love, that teams want, just a really reliable guy. Um, he reminds me a little bit about like Lehkonen, not in like play style, not in like talent, nothing like that. I mean like literally in the way he's valued. Um, I really don't want to pencil in anybody for sure. Um, I mean, that's very non-committal, but we've seen like prospect can turn into Jake Evans or they can turn into Montreal era Dvorak. Which he is great. And I was talking to a buddy who writes about the Avs, and he was saying that they that he was coveting Dvorak when he was a Coyote, which makes sense. So anyways, to me, I don't like I don't know, man. You have a Jake Evans. Do you want to risk finding a Jake Evans? He seems like such a basic player, I guess, in a way. So yeah, the chances of you finding a Jake Evans, I guess, are higher. Um, but listen, we can't be unreasonable about it. We can't ask Kent Hughes to sign him to like anything, like whatever he wants. But I would really, really like Kent Hughes to do his best to keep him. And if not keep him, do right by him, you know? Uh give him the kind of lucky treatment of like helping him find a good place to go, find him a new home. Like he's like a pet they're rehoming, but no. Um, his like offense numbers are off the chart this year. I think that like I think someone's gonna fall for them. The question is it gonna be us who falls for them? I don't think so. That is one thing I think that like Kent Hughes has a pretty good grasp on who his players are. Um, but we just have to hope that he's willing to take a bit of a discount. Now, my working theory is what should happen is that the person with the biggest contract that's been signed here, anyways, not, Laine, is um, Nick Suzuki. Pay him under the table, buddy. Uh, take one for the team. Take one for your friend. Pay him under the table, and the team can give him something a little cheaper. So yeah, I really want him. Um, Actually, something I wanted your opinion on, guys. I've been thinking about this a lot. Again, this is inspired by as I plagiarize many of my thoughts from Locked On Canadians. Um, I believe it was something that I don't know. It was Ian or Laura. To me, they're like Leon. They're one. Um, but they said something about how there's going to be a bit of sticker shock with the price of bottom six forwards going forward because of the fact that the cap is going up. And I think so. I think so. I saw some people look at like I saw uh somebody on Blue Sky somewhere somehow someone talk a little bit about how they were like comparing his like contract to another bottom six contract. And I was like, you're not gonna get a bottom six guy at what you used to. Like you're just not. Um, Cap is going up. Everyone knows that. Their agents know that. The guys know that. It feels reasonable for them to be like, hey, like a little bit more like standard has to go up. Again, sticker shock. There might be some like, what's happening here, but I don't know. My personal kind of theory here is there is a good chance that they will sign him to a contract that might look bad-ish. Like I still don't want them to sign him like a bad contract, but like something that might be like, "Ooh, that's borderline." But when you actually think about it in terms of like the cap, that might work. Um yeah, Andrew kind of says that the best way to comp expectation with reality is to look back at a decade at a similar player and then figure out what that percentage of the cap will be under the expected rise in salary cap. Yeah, I don't deal with numbers, so if you know what, I'll disguise this as a mailbag question to Locked On Canadians, who you should check out, by the way. They do mailbags every week. um so I will basically try to see if I can con Ian into homework, um do that. um yeah, Conrad adds, that's why people are saying that teams are looking at guys like Kadri, where Flames fans thought he was untradeable last year. Teams can actually acquire him with that, which I assume he means by the salary cap. Yeah, so there's things are changing. Andrew says yes, make Ian do math for us. Bernardo, listen, yeah, I got nothing. I for one at one point my bio had, I'm not doing sports math and you can't make me, and that's that. Um, Trinka says Jake Evans is Jake Evans, but a prospect could be anything. It might even be Jake Evans. That's kind of it. There, I, from the people I respect and people whose judgment I trust, seems like Owen Beck is translating. Like it seems like he is doing the things that we thought he would. So that's nice. Mishar seemed to be doing better, and then he got injured. Um, Listen, we've got stuff. We've got plenty of stuff. I feel like, excuse me. I feel like everybody kind of has talked a little bit about how we have like a lot of we're just missing like big star pieces in our prospect cupboard. Um, but I want him. I want to keep him. Listen, that's my final verdict on that. I'm gonna stop talking about the Jake Evans situation because it like legitimately kind of upsets me a little bit, and I understand that's like kind of silly. Um, but like I try to give myself more grace with that because you can't care about sports if you don't like, or I guess like there are some people who don't really care about like the players necessarily. They care about the team. To me, I really follow players. Like I do. Um I will fall into places that I would not go willingly. Um so I I don't know. I just I like him. I like him. He's my guy. I'd really really like to keep him. Sorry guys, I'm just going to drink some water really quickly. Sorry. Um yeah. So that's my final verdict on the Jake Evans situation. Um and I have a feeling we will keep talking about it because he's been kicking ass. Um Oh my god. I was totally fine before I started talking. Guys, is somebody wishing me ill right now? Are one of you guys like actually like putting a hex on me or something? Come on. Or yeah, you know, Bernardo says talking about Evan's future literally makes her sick. Correct. Conrad says like for K hydrating. Yes, guys, be sure to like that. I don't do that a lot. I don't hydrate very well usually. So please do like the video. I'd really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe too. I'm here all the time. Like, I am here almost too much. I almost do, like, I'm sure you guys are, like, half tired of it, of how often I'm on these post games. But, it's me, Mark, Andrew. We do things. I try to book interesting guests. I try to, I I would love for you guys to join us here. We're trying to build something really special. Um, and while I'm here, while we're talking about something really special, I am going to talk a little bit about um something. I am surely going to talk about something. Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about, I guess, just game over in general. This is a time of year where, like, things can be really emotional, things are really, people are spending time around their families. Certain people aren't spending time around their families. They don't really feel comfortable. Um, people are, for some reason, companies love laying off people around this time of year. Um, there's the joy, the love, the stress, everything that comes along with the holiday season. The winter, with like seasonal depression, that also really can kick in around this time of year for people. Um, I think there's a lot going on. Um, so I guess I'm just, I'm really grateful because I feel like Game Over has pointed me in a direction. I've always had hockey feelings. Like, I've always had a lot of thoughts and feelings and opinions, and I never really had a place to put them. Because I never really got an opportunity to. I never even honestly thought to reach out for the opportunity because I never felt invited into a space that would, um, like a hockey space or a hockey broadcasting situation. So with Game Over, I've been able to find my voice a little bit. I'm learning, I'm listening, I'm learning from you guys. I'm learning from my fellow hosts, not only on Game Over, but like across the network. There's some really, really great people who work for us. For example, Conrad in the chat. We haven't gotten to host together yet, but I'd love the chance to do that if I could. Just because I love learning from the people who I get to work with. So Um, so yeah, my point being, I really appreciate what Game Over is giving us. I really hope you guys are enjoying what we're putting out, what we're putting so much love and effort into. And yeah, be sure to check out the gameovernetwork.com. We have a holiday sale going on for our merch right now in toques and hoodies, I believe, sweatshirts. And it's about 15% off, I believe. It's GO holidays. Um, so yeah. Okay. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry, guys. No, I'm not. But yeah. So to kind of go back a little bit, um, oh Trinka, I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna say it out loud on the stream because I'm not, obviously I don't want to say it out. Um, but yeah, I'm really sorry. Uh, but yeah, it's a terrible time of year right now. Um, Ooh, Bernardo's saying Verinsky's pissed at Laine. I'm sure he is. He's a little piss baby. Um, Sorry, I don't know where that hatred for him came out of. But it did, so I don't know what to say, you know. Can't wait to go online after this and get really annoyed by it. Um, um, so yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? It's time for our last segment. I'm gonna queue you guys up for if you have any questions. Honestly, they don't even have to be hockey questions. If you have any questions for me, for whatever reason, throw them at me. Um, but if you have hockey questions, those would be preferable. But I'm going to move into the segment I had kind of planned about holidays. So I was originally scheduled for the 29th, but I won't be able to make it. Um, it's my best friend's sister's wedding. So obviously I can't be here. So I won't be here before the new year. So I just wanted to maybe, uh, talk about resolutions. What can the resolutions for this team and the players be? Now, I want to get like one or two serious ones out of the way, because we're here to have fun. One of my big things that I really want is I want this team to find maturity, I think is how I'm going to say it. I need them to find being grown-ups and how to be grown-ups. And I don't want to say find how to be professionals because, you know, I'm sure they do everything that they can to prepare off the ice, but I mean in terms of like emotional um maturity. I feel like we've already seen an improvement on this, but when things go bad for this team, man, does it go bad? They are it's the whole snowballing thing that happens. One goal happens, they can't get it together, they get scrambly. Second goal happens, third goal happens. Now, has this been helped by Monty um being able to kind of calm down? Because at the start of the year, there was a little patch where he was dealing with something that I don't think he's dealt with in his time here, which is emotional and mental fragility, where one goal would happen and then he would kind of just lose composure. Not in like a Binnington, like slamming his stick, fake fighting guys, but just in a, I feel like he just couldn't make saves or that it would take him a while to get back into it. And if guys let any amount of like pucks towards the net, it could break him. And he's fixed that. And like good for him because Monty's a very good goalie. He is a very good goalie who is only now starting to be recognized outside the Montreal market. Um so I think that's been helped by it, but I think still there's this scrambliness that happens with this team sometimes where something goes wrong, immediate like, banana peel slipping. Like it just that's what I would really like this team to find. Is I'd like them to find some maturity. And killer instinct. Man, when something's down, pounce. I I wasn't on the game. I wasn't on after the last game versus the Devils, the second game. I was almost a little bit annoyed about them not leaning in that last power play. I believe they didn't even put power play 2 out. They had Christian Dvorak on the power play. Guys, they had guys like Gooley who don't play on the power play out there. It was weird. They were doing the whole like chivalry thing of like, no, we're not going to, we're not gonna lean in, blah 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 blah. The was it the Devils? No, it was the Red Wings. The Red Wings were still finishing checks. They were still going hard. They were throwing their bodies. They were going after guys, like not in an illegal hits way, but like in a way where they were still finishing their physicality. Put your foot on their neck. Do not let them up. Who cares? Who cares? Be merciless. Who cares? The Red Wings aren't very good, anyways. Like, if they don't want to get scored on, fine. Don't play better. Play better. And it is genuinely like it bothers me every single time they do this, where they do like the mercy, like, oh, we're not even gonna try to score goals anymore. First of all, you're being a baby. Stop being a baby. Second of all, they did it like especially bothered me last game because they were still throwing hits. The Red Wings were still like checking our guys. It was just like fine, they're not dead. They're not following the rules, quote unquote, that are supposed to be set for when you go easy on them. It just pissed me off. Like stop doing that. Stop doing that. I guess that's just oof. Okay. Okay. Let's relax. Um Bernardo says it's like coaching etiquette, but it's dumb. Yeah. Bernardo says maybe you shouldn't fall behind 5-1. Seems like a skill issue. Yes. Simply be better. Play better hockey. And I trust me, I understand I'm speaking from a team that does not always play good hockey. So there's a good chance I might regret these words when the Habs get dunked on. But by the time it's 5-1, I already feel like I've been like wrecked. By the time 5-1 rolls around, I don't care. Like, I'm already mad at them. I'm already so mad at them. Give them another 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, Penn State 9. So, okay. Those are my serious kind of ones. Now, maybe another serious one is I would like them to get a backup. That's just get a backup, or frankly, unfortunately, Dobesh, it might be your turn to step into the fire. I hate it. I don't want to do it. All along, I've been talking about how I want to let him cook in the AHL. I want Laval to keep him. It's just not an option. This is what, Monty's 10th straight start? It's not sustainable. It's just not. Like, even for like the best goalie in the world, it's not sustainable. They can't Carey Price him. Guys, he's not Carey Price. They're trying to like hellebuck him, I guess, is the best way. But they can't do that. Just find another option. Unfortunately, if it has to be Dobesh, it has to be Dobesh. Send Primo down. Nobody's claiming him. Sorry, nobody's claiming him. Unless they like have like a ton of extra roster spots for some reason. I don't even think the Flyers are claiming him. Yeah, Andrew says 10th, including a back-to-back with trouble. Yeah, he was the starting goalie in Detroit versus the Red Wings in Detroit. Then they came home in Montreal. The next day they played, and Monty played. Like, that's not, I don't want him to keep doing that. First of all, it's not sustainable for his body. I'm sorry, it's just not. But I want them to give him more options. For example, if it already seems like a game that's like out of hand, they should be able to put Primo in. Or like not even if it's not out of hand, if it seems like something's happening, but he needs some time. Um you can't like you need a reliable backup. It's literally just it is what it is. Um Now for our that was the worst drum roll ever, guys. That was also bad. Imagine a really good drum roll here. Now, for our players, New Year's resolutions. Um, Sorry, let me just P-Trap says that what a sad loss. I'm not sure what Laine had in mind. If you're to talk shit, you have to complete the damn game. Now, first of all, I don't want to like assume why he didn't complete the game. He might actually be injured. We can't just ask him to complete it because he talks shit. Like, I don't want him to like aggravate an injury or whatever. Now, do I think it would have been smarter for him to save that for like next if they won after the game? Yeah, sure. But also, I don't think that's in Patty Laine's nature. Um, he gives like the most honest answers we've ever seen. Um, they asked him, how he about Columbus, and he answered. Could he have been more tactful about it? Yeah. Would I, if in his space, be more tactful about it? Probably, yeah. But that's just not how he rolls. So frankly, it is what it is. I wish he'd saved it because he is probably I don't know what's happening on the internet right now, but it's not yeah. I wish he'd save it. I almost respect him more for saying it no matter what. Like he was like, I'm feeling this way, I'm gonna say it. Um, but yeah. I'm sure that he would have finished the game if he could. Um, Unless again more news came out since I've been on. Just be sure to drop it in the chat if anything came out. Um, okay, roll back, roll back. For me, I would like Kirby Doc's New Year's resolution to be I my New Year's resolution for Kirby Doc was gonna be like I want him to turn into a puck so he can put himself in the net. Now I don't think that's possible, but I would like Kirby Doc to get a magnetic puck, um, and I want it to be attracted to the net, no matter what happens. Give him like at least like 3. Give him 3 that are just easy, they find the net by themselves. Give him something. That's what I want for Kirby Duck. Now, for Caden Gooley, I want him to get a goal. I feel like he's again, my memory could be failing me, but I feel like he hasn't been showing as much offense as he did last year. I feel like our defense group just in general hasn't been. But he scored some last year, and I feel like I haven't seen him score many this year. So that'd be nice. Um, it would just be really, I don't know, it'd be nice. I still remember, guys, that game versus the Bruins, that it was, I believe it was a home win. It was a home win versus the Bruins. They won in overtime, and it was goalie goal. Um, And there's this, like, sick picture of him, like, jumping up against the glass. I think about it all the time, and it was, like, one of the first times in a long, long time that we won, I believe it was at home versus the Bruins. So, that's sick. So I'd like him to get, like, 1 or 2 more of that. I wonder if having Carrier around will allow him that. Still don't love Matheson Lane. Don't love that pairing still, but it seems Marty's gonna insist on that, so it is what it is. I do still like Carrier and Goulet, so yeah. Um, or Slav. Hmm. Slav's New Year resolution, I think, should be talk your shit, King. Like, just be petty. I'm not sure if you guys saw, but there was an article, I believe by Urban Basu again, where he essentially con confirmed that last game, when we all saw him point towards someone after a goal, like it was the Laine goal, and he was in front of the net, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's pointing at Laine for the goal." But then he was pretty much like, "No, I was pointing at the guy who scored the goal, who is our king, Ben Sherratt." So that's a funny one. I want him to show that pettiness. Genuinely, he is so funny, so open. I want him to be even more of that. I feel like Trinka's saying in the chat, I think Patty might be one of those guys either love or hate, but I do think he's real. I don't think he steps around things. He says what he feels. Um, so yeah, pretty much that, but like in a less Patty's a little bit more serious in that way, but I want that for Slav in a less serious way where he just kind of says what he wants. He's always been saying it, but like I feel like he could really be talking shit to his opponents more. I need to know if he's a chirper. Um, so guys, by the way, leave any questions if you want. I'm probably gonna sign off soon because it is me by myself. Um, but yeah, for me, I want Primo's New Year resolutions to be find a new team. Is that mean? Yeah. I want find a new team, dude. This is not a good situation for you, the Habs, or honestly, even Monty. Like, there's a much better situation out there somewhere, even if it is just in the AHL. I think time is up. For to quote Ian Bover, it's primo over. It's done. Bernard also points out that Slav was talking shit to Cider. Yeah. That first game where he scored, he was like from his first goal, he's basically talked shit after every goal. I don't even know if that was him, but it was somebody. It might have been Laine. But he turned yes, it was Laine, because it was the goal where Cider's stick shattered. So he essentially like just was laughing at Cider. I was like, that was so sick. Because he just like they had been at each other all game. Um, they'd been like Cider had been hitting him, and Slap had been kind of like going back at him. Um, and he was just like, dude, like screw you. At the end of the day, my team's winning, so good for him. Um, Yeah, Trinka says, "Did you see last game when they won and Primo came out to hug Monty? That must suck so much." Yeah, it really must. I'm like, honestly, it's hard to be a goalie, like a backup goalie, because if I was any backup goalie, I'd be like, "Damn, I fucking hate you." It's like, I know that's not how it works, but like pettiness. Um, Perrier, handsome. Yes, correct. He is handsome. He is very handsome. Um, Claire says Carrie's wife is a doctor at a clinic not far from my house. Yeah, so I don't want to butcher the story at all because I can't remember it, so I'm not going to say it. But there, Stu Cowan in his column about Carrie talked a little bit of his wife and like advocacy for menstrual products. Someone in his family, I believe, or her, can't remember, so I don't want to talk about that. But it was great. So be sure to go read that. Um, Trinka says, Army is smiling so much more this year, and I'm here for it. I want more Army smiles. Yeah, it's nice to see, like, I, I love it when he, like, shows emotions. Um, it's so clear that, like, that line is, they really like each other, I think. Heineman is, like, harder to read a little bit because he's, like, newer, but, like, they must really like each other. They have a great chemistry, and, they're always, like, yapping on the bench, so that's cool. Bernardo says, Evans spin past Armia for the goal was sick. Yeah, man, of course. Jake Evans not only scores bangers, but he also assists bangers. He has banger assists. Yeah, this is where we're at. Um, okay, so I'm gonna sign off soon, but I did want to just say, guys, first of all, happy holidays. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know after a loss, it's not the most fun fun game, but fun show. Jesus. Um, yeah, but thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you keeping me company. Um, and I guess before before I go, I do want to just say thank you so much to everybody here. You guys are so supportive and I really really appreciate that. I'm learning this very new thing that is like very scary and you guys have helped me feel so comfortable. Um, and so you never make me feel even when I like, don't when something happens and I don't like I say the wrong sentence or whatever. You guys always make me feel really comfortable and I'd really appreciate that. Um, and thank you to everybody who tunes in. Um, I thank you to everybody who watches later or listens to this in the audio format. I really, really appreciate it. I know Mark and Andrew appreciate it so much. Um, but to make this about me for a second, um, I'm doing something really fucking cool. I didn't think I'd ever do something like this. I'm on a camera all the time, and I never thought I'd feel comfortable doing this, but I'm here. Um, I get to talk about hockey, and that's wonderful. I get to tell you guys my opinions. Um, I get to make my silly little jokes. I get to talk about Ghoulie Nation. I get to talk about Jake Evans. I get to be ridiculous. And you guys are so supportive through it all. So yeah, I really appreciate it. I hope that these streams are as fun for you guys as they are for me. I love doing these. I hope that you guys see that I'm putting a lot of effort every single time to doing a better stream than I had the night before or the last stream I had. I really care about improving. I really care about just making this as good as I can for you guys. It like genuinely matters a lot to me. Um, I really appreciate any of you that follow me on social media. If you do, be sure to like if we don't talk or whatever, be sure to like let me know who you are. If your username doesn't like match your name or whatever. Just because I don't know, I'm really bad at remembering that kind of stuff or kind of piecing context clues together. But I do know I interact and I follow back some of you guys. Um, so yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining me, for participating in these discussions. happy holidays. I hope all of you are happy. I hope all of you are with the people you love, no matter who they are. And if you aren't, if you're having, if you're in a situation where maybe, it's a little bit harder, I hope that you guys are able to take care of yourselves. And I hope that you're just know that I am here and I am wishing the best for you and that you are not alone. You know, it's going to be okay. We are all going to be okay. And, in conclusion, I had a really big freak out today about like the year nearly ending and time and whatever. And it's going to be okay. In conclusion, it's going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. I love and appreciate you guys. I'm going to now log off after that long spiel. But yeah, good night. Love you guys in the chat because they're so sweet. And yeah, all right. Bye. Oh, like the video, subscribe, follow me on social media.